Good afternoon, and welcome to our second college recognition ceremony for the class of 2024. Today, we are here to recognize and celebrate 10 outstanding student athletes who have committed to pursuing their academic and athletic careers at the next level. These student athletes have worked very hard both in the classroom and at their sport to achieve outstanding success. They join a long list of Quakertown grads who once sat up here themselves and then went on to do great things in college athletics. I believe that more sports are represented on this stage today than at any other time in our college signing ceremonies. Thank you to our coaching staff for raising the bar and providing the opportunity for our athletes to excel. On behalf of Quakertown Community High School, congratulations to these dedicated student athletes being honored today. Let me introduce them to you before we hear from their coaches and the athletes themselves. We have Caitlin Calvello, who is going to compete in track at Shippensburg University. Next, Matt Marston will be playing baseball at Bloomsburg University. Grace White will be going to Kutztown to play volleyball. Vincent McCucci will be playing football at Shippensburg University. Anthony Ferruggio will be playing football at Westchester University. Logan Jeffrey will go to Ursinus and also play football. Maria Waymeyer will be swimming at Ursinus College. Cody Jefferson will be playing lacrosse at the Pennsylvania College of Technology. Mary Wilkinson will be playing softball at Susquehanna University. And Miles Longacre will be playing basketball at Wilkes University. Next up, we will hear from each of their coaches. They will tell us some stories, I'm sure, maybe some accomplishments from their high school careers. So first up, I'm going to introduce Jason Anderson for Caitlin.
Hello, thanks. I'm honored to get the chance to speak to Caitlin Calvello's storied career here with Quakertown Girls Track and Field. It's rare to have such a complete athlete like Caitlin on our team, on any team. She can literally do all 18 different events, whether on the field or on the track. So we've worked together for 4 years now, eight different seasons, I guess. We're starting our 8th season. We go indoor and outdoor, so that starts in November and goes through May. I'm trying to think, not counting her 9th grade year, because that was indoor, but it was a polar bear meet. We would do outside, so we wore our ski jackets and our masks, all that stuff. So they didn't have postseason there, but so that season was standing. She's made the postseason in indoor 3 times, so that's meet at champs every time, and districts up until this year, which we're starting now, she's made every year. So that's a pretty great accomplishment. Let me see, her main area of expertise is horizontal jumps, so that's long and triple. Indoor athletes are capped at 2 events. Outdoor athletes get 4, which is a shame because she can go vertical, she can throw, she can run long distance, she can run short distance. I think we're probably going to see her in the heptathlon, maybe at Ship, I don't know. They would be silly not to put her there because she can do, like I said, really any event. She's been on our 4x1 team that goes to Penn Relays every year that Penn Relays has been held, where she was a student. So Yeah, she was on our storied 4x2 relay that went to states. We won Meet of Champs, got the gold medal there back in 2022. And then we went on to states, finished top 10 in the state. Caitlin was on that relay. She's the last of that group. What a ride that was. To quote Coach Hood, no one outworks Caitlin. And it's true. On the track, on the jump runway, in the weight room, you can tell her to stop, but she will just go home or go to the gym and go do more. I think she probably like waits in her car till we leave, and then she comes back out on the jumps and probably does more, even though you told her she has to stop. One time, I remember we were in the weight room, and we told the athletes, like, let's try to do 3 sets of pull-ups. Try to do 1 to 5 if you can. If you need to use the assisted machine or the bands, it's all good. So Caitlin goes over and she does 5 pull-ups, and she's still hanging there, like without any assistance. Coach, can I do some more? Sure, Caitlin. So I don't know, I think she did 4 sets of 15. I don't know, I think we left. We turned off the lights. We got tired of watching her. She just kept going. And so that's kind of how she is. That's how her career here has been, and that's probably what she'll do at Shippensburg. So we're really proud of her moving on. It's a great program, and it's been an honor to be your coach. And so we're looking forward to a good outdoor season. We're not done. And good luck to you at Shippensburg, and congratulations to all the athletes. Thanks.
Okay. Next up, Coach John Pallone will talk about Matt.
Hi. First, thing I want to do is I want to congratulate all the athletes up here on stage. It's a celebration of all of your hard work and dedication that often goes unseen. I think it was Serena Williams that once said, "I didn't always feel like practicing, but I never feel like losing." In order to get where you guys are right now, you had to put in a lot of work and do a lot of things that a lot of other athletes, high school athletes, aren't willing to do. So I think it's worth a congratulations and a celebration to do that. Specific to Matthew, he's put in a lot of hard work in season and out of season to get where he is. Last season was a great year for him and the team. Some of the highlights from last year, he had some big games. He had many big games, but 3 or 4 of his big games were a relief appearance against Abington, which was a state playoff team. He threw 6 innings in relief, 8 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. Complete game against William Tennant, 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. Complete game against Hatboro with playoffs on the line, 7 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 1 earned run. And then he had probably one of our biggest ever playoff upset victories in district playoffs against Pennsbury, where he had a great start out there against several Division I, Division II hitters in that lineup and set us up for that win against a very good Pennsbury team and held his composure and competed every bit of the way. Also to Matthew's credit, baseball is an extremely difficult sport to play at the collegiate level, especially because of the timeline. As a spring sport, it's later than a lot of the other ones. The timeline is a little bit later, so it takes a lot of perseverance. And I know for all the athletes up here, there's a lot of frustration because you have all that stress. You want to make your commitment, you want to go, and you're seeing other guys go in the fall sports and the winter sports. And so it takes a lot of that perseverance I really want to emphasize. So that's very difficult for him to do, and he was able to do that. Coach Collins at Bloomsburg is getting a fierce competitor who's going to continue to compete on the mound for us this year, which I really look forward to seeing and seeing him do it at Bloomsburg as well. And congratulations, Matthew, and I look forward to seeing more good things from you.
Next up, Coach Andy Snyder will talk about Grace.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out to celebrate these athletes. I want to congratulate you all. You're all model athletes for the rest of our underclassmen, and they all have somebody to look up to. So, again, congratulations on that. Parents, you've done a great job raising these kids. Keep doing what you're doing with that in that regard. So let's talk about Grace. I joined the program 2 years ago, and I've coached Grace just for those 2 years. Grace has been with the team for 3 years. In the 3 years, she's a 2-time second-team All-League player. She's our 2-time girls volleyball MVP. As a junior, she was primarily a front row player. If you know volleyball, there's generally front row and back row, and there's some players that go all the way around. She was mostly front row, but then this year as a senior, she became an all-around player. And she led the team in nearly every stat category: kills, aces, blocks. She even led in digs this year when we put her in the back row, and really stepped up her senior year. She had a game this year where she was close, I don't know the exact number, but she was close to 20 kills in one of our matches, which, if you know volleyball, that's pretty good for a high school athlete. So she really led the team, not just in the stats, but also personality-wise. She was probably the most stable player you could find. She's very level-headed. She's not up and down. It's Grace was there all the time, working hard, positive attitude, supporting her team, and just doing everything that you could possibly ask. She's very reliable. She's dependable. She's there all the time, and nothing more that a coach could ask for. It's been a pleasure coaching her these past 2 years. We'll definitely miss you, and good luck at Kutztown.
Bring up Coach George Banis. He will be talking about all 3 of our football players, Vincent, Anthony, and Logan.
All right, I'll echo. I want to say congratulations. It's quite a feat, but I also want to say this. Don't be a stranger. Don't hesitate to reach out to your coaches, to your teachers, to your parents, to friends. It's going to be tough. And if anybody says or sugarcoats it any other way, they're lying to you. Playing collegiate athletics is a tough thing to do. To keep your academics, staying strong, but then also the grind of the season, because it's full year, 24 hours a day, you got to be thinking about it. It's almost like a job. Don't hesitate to reach back out. All right, we're here for you, okay? As far as our guys, the football players up here, this group has been a part of numerous wins and tons of awards over their time here at Quakertown. As sophomores, they contributed to the best team in school history. Then this year, they accomplished wins over teams that have not happened in many, many years. They beat North Penn for the first time since 1979. They also beat a team down the road 3 years in a row on Thanksgiving, something that has not occurred since 1949, 50, and 51. As far as the players individually goes, they all have very different personalities. There's numerous stories we can talk about, each and every one of them. Logan came back to us this year. We were happy to see him come back home to do our kicking duties, and then also really give us a tremendous look against our first team players on both sides of the ball. He kept nagging and nagging and nagging to try to get on the field, and I'm like, no, you're a kicker, you're going to get hurt. That's what happens to kickers. He's like, no, I'll never get hurt, I promise. First game I let him play, he got hurt. But having him back, having his personality back, it was a pleasure. I'm glad he was back home with his friends, and we were excited to have him, and we wish him the best of luck, that's for sure. Anthony is moving on, becoming one of those mascots down the road that we despise, but it's at the collegiate level, and it's in different colors, so I guess we can overlook that part of things and still cheer him on. This year he set records for sacks in a game, He did it twice this year with 3 sacks in each game, so he's second on the list there. One thing that he accomplished this year that I've never seen in, I would say, 25 years of coaching football, I've never seen a defensive end intercept a football, yet alone do it 4 times and 3 times return for touchdowns. It's absolutely amazing. I've never seen it before, but it shows his athleticism. And I think that's what Duke really saw in him when he was at Del Valle as the head coach and then got the head coaching job at Westchester. And one of his first calls was to Anthony to try to get him there to Westchester. He could play on both sides of the ball there. I think Duke is sort of flipping a coin there yet with him, so we wish him the best of luck there at Westchester. We might not wish him all the luck against Shippensburg, right? My alma mater, but Vince will be attending Ship. He'll actually be up there with Mac, who was a GA while I was there, so he's in really good hands. Vince is scattered all over the record books. He's 3rd in passing yards and in completions for all time. He is, and this one's going to kill him, and always probably will kill him, he is 1 yard short of number 1 for passing yards in a season. But he is number 1 in the season for completions. So he's first for completions, touchdown completions in a game with 5, and respectively 5th in TDs for career. He's set numerous records, and I think he'll have the same opportunity at Shippensburg to set records there. You've come a very long way from being that scrawny little ball boy and water boy not too many years ago on the sidelines. I wish the 3 of you the best of luck, and it goes for the 3 of you specifically, but for everybody, don't hesitate to reach back out. Text, phone call, a short drive away. All right? Wish you the best of luck.
Next up, Coach Meg Gantz will talk about Maria.
First off, congratulations to you all. It is quite a feat to accomplish, not only academically, but to have all of your time spent, whether it's in the pool for some of you or on a field, on a court. It's a lot of time involved with practices, before school, after school, during schools, leaving early for meets and games and such. It is a lot of work, and it's going to continue into college. But what it will teach you a lot, and it's going to really exemplify in college, is time management. So remember that. All these hours you put in, it's going to filter right on through into college. You're going to have to study when you can because you have practice. You're going to have to get everything done in time because, again, you're going to have to go back to practice again. But it is an amazing thing. All my kids went on to do sports, and it's the best thing. They look back and miss it now. So continue on, and all these sports are things that you can continue on even after college. Coaching, it might be, coming back here to coach or to another school. There's always Pee Wee stuff going on. All the things that you've learned along the way, definitely keep it going and keep it going on through the community. So for Maria, Maria's been swimming competitively for 12 years on club teams, including the Quakertown Summer Swim Team, and she is a 4-year varsity swimmer here at Quakertown High School. She was voted captain this year by her teammates and demonstrated her leadership skills and integrity as she welcomed their new swimmers, dealt with team, I'll find the best word I could find was hullabaloo, and was there to help out wherever needed. We had a lot of new swimmers every year. There's always a couple that have never swam in their life. I know that stroke that does this. That's all they tell me. So Maria was always the first one. Do you want me to hop in and help them? Yes, please. So she would hop in, give them a few hands while I coached the rest of the kids. Always was willing to jump in and also deal with the hullabaloo that would go on, whether it's pulling someone aside, dealing with some issues, I see Coach Cardi smiling at me. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. I think every team has it. There's always some kind of drama. But she was always there with the maturity to handle things for me. And that is what I recognize most of her, the maturity that she had for me through all 4 years. So unfortunately, she had a delayed start this season. She had some injuries, some back issues going back and forth. And then after that was the illnesses, which seemed to filter throughout the school. I think everybody was sick at one time or another. So, but with 5 weeks to go till champs, she did bounce back, got back in the pool, had about 2 or 3 swim meets before champs, and she was actually able to get her best time in the 50 freestyle, which placed her in 10th place in our in our league championships. And then for her 100 backstroke, she placed with her second fastest time of a 103.67. So, you know, with a lot of delay and not being able to get in the pool, within a short time, she was able to bounce back and get right back to her close to fastest time and her fastest time for the 50 free. Unfortunately, even though there were consideration times for swimming, swimming's a little different, maybe some other sports, you have consideration times, but not until they get everybody's times at the end of the season can they decide who's actually going to make it to districts. So you don't know until about 3 days before districts if you're going or not. So she tried her hardest to get back in, get those times down. Unfortunately, she just fell short. She made the consideration, which is, okay, you might make it, but she was right on the cutting edge. With only cutting the top 40 that go on to districts, she was 50th in one, and I think 51st in the other. So she was right in there, and I have no doubt that without the injuries and illnesses with the start, she probably would have been a lot closer, if not making it. Now, fortunately, the last 2 years, she did make it to districts for her 200 freestyle relay with her teammates, so she did get to experience that. It was wonderful seeing them all up there together as a team and getting that experience. The last part, Maria, she's a multi-sport athlete. She plays lacrosse and also selected as a student section leader, where I would see her every Friday night in the stands cheering on the team, dressed in whatever garb we decided, pajamas or, I don't know, we had all kind of different day glow, all kind of different ones. But she was always there. I'd pretty much be one of the first to pull into the parking lot, and there she was with her friends, all dressed up and ready to go. These are the kind of things that Ursinus is going to be so lucky to have now that they've offered her a position on the team. Not only academically, but seeing her as a leader on the pool deck, seeing her leader just as a school leader, being there for all the other sports, cheering them on, being a part of something larger than just the team. I'm going to miss her terribly on the pool deck. She's already told me she's passing her schedule on to me, because I'll be sure to go up there to Ursinus and watch her swim as a bear there at their pool. They're just very lucky to have her, and I can't wait to see her full potential now that she'll be a college swimmer. So congratulations to you all. Congratulations, Maria.
Coach Tony Cardi to talk about Cody. Just in case you hear Coach Cardi's phone go off, he's about to be a grandfather. So if he runs off before he's done talking, it's to go get a grandchild.
Thank you. One of the greatest thrills of being a community member and a member of the coaching staff here at Quakertown is that you get to watch these kids grow up. I was fortunate enough to have some of these guys in class, fortunate enough to coach them in middle school, fortunate enough to coach them in high school, and you're not going to find better kids in the world than Quakertown kids. You're just not. They're hardworking kids. They're respectful kids. They make mistakes. They own up to their mistakes, and then they recover from them. It's great. It's great living in this community. And I'll always tell people this is the little slice of heaven on earth. When there are kids here, they don't necessarily think this is the greatest place in the world to grow up, and yet what do we find? They always come back to Quakertown. They always raise their kids here, and they always do that. My wife's Quakertown product. So this is one of the greatest places in the world to raise kids. That's why the coaches that are in this community also teach in the school district and do the things that we do. I have the honor of talking about Cody today. Cody, from the first time he stepped on the lacrosse field when he was a freshman, started to compete right away. One of the few things you can ask an athlete to do every single time he shows up is to compete. He was a freshman. He's a lot smaller than the other guys. He competed. I told him to go get ground balls. He competed. He got knocked around a lot. Then his sophomore year didn't get knocked around as much. And then he started knocking people around his next couple of years. This is a kid who always competed in practice. Never was satisfied with what he was doing. Never was satisfied with one thing when he could do two things. Always begging me to get on the attack, which won't happen, but that's okay. I mean, he's got a shot that's slower than mine, and that's saying a lot. But at some point, he always competed. He always did exactly what he was taught to. I had named him a captain in his junior year. He has led the team in an outstanding manner. He's taught the young kids. He's called them. He's made sure that they've done what they had to do. There is not anything that I can't say about him. When I first saw him show up in my classroom when he was in 6th grade, he just looked like the Pee-wee version of what he does now. I'm not surprised that he has committed to playing in college. His parents are outstanding people, and they've raised an excellent athlete. In our league, in lacrosse, we are always putting someone in the district final from our league every year. To be named to the all-league team last year like he was is being named just like athletes that are going to Division I and II colleges all over the country. So I'm overjoyed, and I can't believe he's a senior, and I can't believe all these people are a senior. But give it up for Cody Jefferson.
Thank you. Coach Eric Medlin will talk about Mary.
Thank you. I want to echo what the other coaches were saying. First and foremost, congratulations to these student athletes. On average, less than 10% high school athletes play in college, so it's a lot of dedication. It's a remarkable achievement. Congratulations also to all the siblings and friends out there that were part of this journey. It takes a lot of people for them to get where they are, so congratulations to you as well. Of course, congratulations to the parents. A lot of sacrifices and commitments. Kay and Brian, I see you smiling over there, so congratulations to you guys. All right. Sorry for my voice, it's a little raspy. I want you to imagine for a second. Imagine all the lights in this room go out. Probably would create some chaos, and some might have a hard time making it out safe. We rely on light to guide us and help us see. People, specifically great leaders, can also be light in this world. And it's here I want to introduce you to Mary Wilkinson, a true soul that not only guides others, but also lifts them high and fills the world up bright like a shining light. Through the game of softball, I've been blessed to be around Mary and her family since she was 8 years old. I've been coaching the sport about 20 years, and I could say she is probably one of the most natural leaders I've ever coached. A classic example of the first person to show up, last person to leave. Mary works hard and will do whatever she has asked for her team. Mary's freshman year, she came to the high school as a standout catcher for her travel team. Quakertown had several options at catcher that year, so Coach Dave Scott challenged Mary to try first base. Probably the only position she didn't really have any experience at. She didn't complain. She didn't use any excuses. She didn't feel sorry for herself. Instead, she fully embraced it and worked as hard as she could. Cut to last year, her junior year, and she's awarded first team all-conference at first base. And she's the heartbeat of a team that goes 20-0 in the season. Great athletes in sports rise to the occasion in big moments, oftentimes even sacrifice self-glory to do so. Mary understands this. For example, she will work the count just so her on-deck batter can see some more pitches, just to improve their own at-bat. Or she'll take a right field approach with a runner on third base to score a run. It's not always the glory moments, but she'll do that. She'll also put down a sacrifice bunt if she's required, even if she's the fourth or fifth batter, which is usually not somebody that's going to bunt. She will do all this because she has a trait that is very hard to find in athletes. She genuinely cares about the people around her, and she shows this not only in her words, but in her actions. Sports is a reflection of life, and the people that truly make a positive difference are those that have genuine care for the people around them, and those that work at it with all their heart in anything they do. These are not easy traits to possess. It's easy to talk about them, but Mary is an example of someone who lives them. Susquehanna is getting a great one, but I don't think they even know how blessed they are just yet. Mary, I'm so excited for your senior season and all that you will accomplish moving forward. Not just in the game of softball, but in the lasting impact that I know you will have in the world. Mary, let your light shine for all to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Wilkinson.
Thank you, Eric. And next up, Coach Tony DaCosta will talk about Miles.
Well, first off, congratulations to all our student athletes. The one parting thing I will leave all of you with, because I was in your shoes at one point many, many moons ago, is maintain the mental toughness you've developed to get here. And the same competitive spirit you had to get to this point, maintain that throughout your life, because you'll need that, and it'll serve you well. So, Miles Longacre, where do I start? Well, we both arrived at Quakertown at the same time. Back in 2020, in the height of COVID, here we were together. So the one thing that stands out about Miles is clearly he had the it factor. So it's not something that's always readily known, but you know when you see it, and it shows up immediately on the floor, to the point where when we started to open gyms in the fall, he obviously had a real strong nose for the ball. So somehow the ball found him, offensive rebounds, getting baskets, to the point that our senior class at that point, the next time we had open gym, said, we can't let Miles score. Clearly, he was embarrassing the people on the floor at that time, so they wanted to make sure that didn't happen anymore. So in that event, it didn't help. He still got buckets. He still scored. And I think that just showed the competitive spirit he had, which proved to serve him well. Unfortunately, he had a leg injury his freshman year, so that derailed his season. And I only mention that because he ended up finishing his career here with 795 points. I'm pretty sure he could have squeezed out 205 points his freshman year. Be the case, he averaged 7.7 points his sophomore year, and you could see his progress and development as he got better, because the next year, his junior year, he averaged 15.8. And this past season, he averaged 16.6. But his growth has not just been on the floor, it's also been off the floor. He's probably not the most vocal leader, but he lets his game do his talking. And his game has showed up multiple times, and also has been recognized by our league. So he's been the Suburban 1 Liberty Division All-Second Team 2 years in a row, his junior and his senior year. So he's quite made an impact, and he's made quite the impression to the point that when defenses start to scheme for you, you know you have their attention. And he's clearly got their attention. More importantly, he's got the attention of college universities, which is why he'll be attending Wilkes University. But beyond that, he's also been a great individual. You know, we always can speak about the qualities our student athletes possess on the floor, on the field, but it's another thing in terms of quality of person they are. And so Wilkes University not only gets a great basketball player, but they get a great person.
Thank you to all the coaches. We love hearing the stories about our athletes. But now we'll take a little turn, and we're going to hear from the athletes themselves. As we traditionally do, we like to hear from the athletes themselves. So I have put together some questions. I did give them the questions so they could prepare what they wanted to say ahead of time. However, I am going to put a little twist to question number one. It's okay. It's an easy one. Okay. So question number one, and then we're going to have just pass it down the line. We'll do one question at a time, and we'll hear from each of them. So question number one was to say their name again, their sport, their university, and I'm going to add, why did you choose it?
Okay. My name is Caitlin Cavello. I'm going to Shippensburg for track and field. And I chose it because over the summer I went to a camp and I fell in love with the coach and the university itself. Compared to all of the other colleges I visited for sports, they had the best facilities by far.
Hello, I'm Matthew Marston. I'm going to Bloomsburg to play baseball. I chose Bloom because it's a great atmosphere. The campus is really beautiful with the brick roads and the middle course where there's open field to pretty much study with all your friends. And I have the chance to play the first year. Pardon, I make it.
Hi, I'm Grace White, and I will be attending Kutztown University to play volleyball. I chose this school because it kind of just felt like home once I walked onto that campus. I fell in love with the team and the coaches, and I just knew it was the place for me.
My name is Vince McCucci. I'm going to play football at Shippensburg University, and I chose this school because after my first conversation with the coaching staff last spring, I fell in love with their with their mentality for the program, and then after getting on the school, it just felt like home for me.
Hi, my name is Anthony Frugia. I'm going to Westchester to play football. I fell in love with the sports environment, and I just loved the coaches when I got there.
Hi, my name is Logan Jeffrey. I will be attending Ursinus College to play football. And just like the moment I stepped foot on the campus, it just felt like home for me. So that's why I decided.
Hi, my name is Maria Waymar. I'll be attending Ursinus College, and I'll be swimming. I chose Ursinus because it was the first school I felt home at and where I saw myself being successful, and I fell in love with the team, and I fit right in.
My name is Cody Jefferson. I'm going to be playing lacrosse at Penn College of Technology. I chose Penn College because it fit me academically, athletically, and I love the college life around it.
My name is Mary Wilkinson. I'm playing softball at Susquehanna University, and I chose Susquehanna because the campus is gorgeous. I'm majoring in biology, and the STEM program is amazing. And when I met Coach Dero, the head coach, she was so welcoming, and she has a fantastic softball program, very successful, and just a very welcoming environment.
My name is Miles Loneker, and I'm going to play basketball at Wilkes University. Really, it kind of just seemed like the best match overall for not only athletics but also academics. I mean, Coach Izzy was really aggressive with his recruiting style, and it kind of just attracted me to them, and I really appreciated that. So I think it just was the best fit. Do you want me to bring this over?
Nope, Miles, you keep the microphone. You're going to start question number 2.
Okay.
Which is, what was your most memorable moment with teammates and coaches?
There was a lot of good moments over the seasons that we had. I mean, we had a great group of guys. Everyone was really determined and wanted to play and competed. But I would say like winning our 2 championships in the Salisbury tournaments was a big deal. And also, during the season, like competing with your teammates and like having good times and making memories is probably the biggest thing for me. And I really appreciate all the memories I made with my teammates and my coaches.
I have 2 memorable moments, but my first one, more serious, was my freshman year. We won against Pennsbury, which was the #1 seed in the playoffs. And, they were one of the best teams, and we were the underdogs. But we won. And the second the last out was made, my whole team just erupted in, like, screaming and crying. And it was, like, it was so special, and I still get goosebumps thinking about it. And my second most memorable moment was a more humorous one. My sophomore year, we lost a game, an away game. And on the bus ride home, we somehow ended up sending pictures of everyone when they were really little. We found pictures from all the parents' Facebooks, and we sent them in the group chat, and we all just were laughing the whole bus ride home. And like, even though we lost that game, it was so like funny, and it actually like brought us a lot closer together.
My most memorable moment was my freshman year in general. It was a great group of guys, fun group, bunch of leaders. I looked up to them, and it was when I realized I really wanted to take lacrosse seriously, and I fell in love with the sport.
My most memorable moment with my teammates and coaches was breaking all 3 relay records with my teammates and making districts with them in the 200 freestyle relay my sophomore and junior year.
I would say my most memorable moment is just to be able to spend every day at practice or Friday nights with during the games, just with my brothers all the time.
I would have to say my most memorable moment would be showing up on Friday nights and walking into the locker room with the music bumping and all the football players getting hype.
My most memorable moment was beating North Penn this past season for the first time in 40 years, which I thought I'd be the first person to share that, but thanks, Coach Panis.
My most memorable moment would have to be the bus rides to and from games. We would play music and sing, and even if we lost or if we won, we always made the best out of the situations.
My most memorable moment was defeating Pennsbury last year. As Coach highlighted, it was probably one of the biggest upsets we've had in recent years, good history, and it was followed by a wild bus ride home where as soon as we got on the bus, we went crazy and pretty much continued until we pulled into the parking lot back here at the high school.
My most memorable moment was probably making states for the 4x2 my sophomore year with 3 other relay members. We got to stay overnight and we got ice cream with Mr. Anderson, so that was fun.
All right, Caitlin, you keep the mic. Question number 3. The lesson or lessons I learned from participating in sports at Quakertown.
The most important lesson I probably learned is to try new things because you never know your potential. I didn't really try long jump till my freshman year, and then my first outdoor meet, I made districts. So that was something. You should definitely try new things.
Lesson I learned was balancing a schedule between school, baseball, homework, a job, my parents' demands, and finding time for my friends.
The lesson I learned would be teamwork. Volleyball is not an individual sport, and you definitely need a good team to work with. Without that ability to work with a team, I would not be going where I am.
The biggest thing that I learned was to persevere through pain and also how to work for something bigger than yourself.
The lessons I learned was it doesn't matter how good you are, how strong you are, there's always going to be someone out there better and is going to humble you.
The lessons I learned was that if you don't work hard for what you want, then you're really never going to succeed at it.
The lessons I learned while at Quakertown are to always believe in yourself and anything is possible when you put the work in.
Some lessons I learned over the years is what it means to be on a team, some leadership roles, and how to work through adversity.
I learned a lot of lessons playing softball here, pushing through adversity, never giving up, believing in yourself. But I think the most important lesson that I learned is that softball doesn't define who I am. I came into the high school, softball was one of my main characteristics. But I learned that no matter if you have an undefeated season, if you don't, if you have your best or worst game, it's most important to stay strong in your character and who you are as a person. And I'm happy with who I am both with and without softball, but of course I'm happy to have softball in my life.
The biggest lesson that I learned over my years was probably that you can't be complacent with where you are. I mean, each year you have to really work hard to be good and to shine out in your competition. And if you're not putting in work and you're not trying to compete, then what's the point of playing?
All right, Miles, question number 4 started coming this way. I feel my best accomplishments in high school sports were?
I think that my best accomplishments were probably the all-league selections, but also our first game this year, we played Penn Ridge, and they've just been stomping us for the last couple of years, and we just absolutely thumped them, and I had 40. And the best moment of my whole career was just after I made a 3, I hit a corner 3. I just the one kid was said something profanic to me, and I was yeah, shut up, man. Yeah, how's that? And then after that, as soon as when I hit the free throw to have 40, I looked at that kid and I was just just stared at him, and I was it was just a really good moment, and I really appreciated that.
My biggest accomplishment was making first team all-league and second team all-area my junior year. My sophomore year, I really struggled with my confidence, and it was honestly one of the worst softball seasons I've ever had. I was pretty much ready to quit softball, but I didn't. I came back my junior year, and I worked really hard and rebuilt my confidence, and it really paid off. So to see my hard work pay off and getting recognition for it was definitely one of my proudest accomplishments.
Some of my best accomplishments were being named a captain last year, winning MVP, and then my all-league recognitions.
My best accomplishment was qualifying for districts my senior year and 2 individual events.
I would say my best accomplishments was actually this year, hitting 2 40-yard field goals during the season.
I would have to say my best accomplishments were getting first team all-league tight end and first team all-league DN.
I feel like my biggest accomplishments were earning all-league honors all 3 years that I was on varsity. And then on top of that, also being a part of the team that beat Penn Ridge 3 years in a row for the first time since 1951.
My best accomplishments came from this past season. I was able to be a leader for my team when I was voted captain and gave the team my all. In my position on the court, it is very unusual to play all the way around, which means playing both front and back row. However, I worked and I showed up and to be able to have that opportunity. I ended up leading in all the stats, kills, digs, aces. I won MVP 2 years in a row while also being awarded second team all-league for 2 years in a row. I am very grateful for all the opportunities that I was able to have to accomplish all of this in high school.
My best accomplishments were leading the conference in strikeouts by striking out 48 batters in 34 innings pitched, and being a part of our team last year, got our coach his first 2 playoff victories here at Quakertown.
My best accomplishments were probably getting in the record books for freshman, sophomore, junior records, and then overall records, and then probably qualifying for districts every year so far.
Next question. I'd like to thank
I'd like to thank my friends, family, and coaches for pushing me through everything and actually making me like this sport a lot. I really didn't think I would like a sport that involves running, but thank goodness I don't run really, so I jump instead.
I'd like to thank my parents, my teachers, my coaches, and my friends, mostly my parents, for sticking with me through the years and having my back through the ups, the downs, the highs and the lows. It's been a very long journey, and I'm really thankful for you guys in introducing the sport back when I really learned how to walk.
I would like to thank first God for putting this dream in my heart, my family and my friends for being my #1 supporters and showing out to every game and pushing me to work hard and earn everything given to me, my teammates for believing in me and helping me through my experience of playing volleyball at Quakertown, and last but not least, my coaches, Coach Andy, Coach Wendy, Coach Cravener, and Coach Drew, who all pushed me in different ways and advanced my knowledge in the sport that I love so much. Thank you so much.
I would like to thank my parents for being by my side the last 13 years of playing the sport, and then my coaches for shaping me into the man and the player that I am today, and finally, the rest of my family and friends for supporting me throughout my athletic journey.
I would like to thank my family and all the coaches and staff members who have pushed me throughout my athletic journey.
I'd like to thank my family, my friends, my coaches, and my teammates, because without you guys, I wouldn't be sitting on this stage today.
I'd like to thank my parents for always believing in me, my brothers for being my biggest role models, and all my coaches for always pushing me.
I'd like to thank my family, friends, teachers, and all the coaches over the year, and I'd most likely specifically like to thank my dad for always being on top of me when it came to athletics.
I'd first like to thank my parents. I would never be where I am today if they weren't willing to put the time, money, early mornings, and late nights into supporting my love for softball. I'd especially like to thank my dad and my pop-pop, because not only are they one of my strongest guides in softball, but also in my life. Additionally, I'd like to thank my travel ball coach, Coach Terry. He helped light a spark in me when I was really struggling, and he pushed me to be the best softball player I could be. I'm also going to thank Coach Dave Scott and the rest of the Quakertown softball coaching staff for seeing potential in me as a little freshman and setting me up to play college ball. I'd also like to thank Coach Dero at Susquehanna for accepting me into the softball community. And lastly, I thank God, because without his guidance and love, I would not be where I am today.
I'd like to thank my parents and my siblings for always staying on top of me when I was down, and if I was hurt and I was just tired of it and I wanted to give it up, step away. Both of my parents just kept staying on me and making sure that I was, just stayed on top of it, and I just kept going at it, and even when it was rough, and I really appreciate that, and I really think that if I didn't have my mom and dad and my sisters and even my friends and extended family, I don't think that I'd be here right now, and I probably would have walked away from the sport a long time ago.
And the final question for our student athletes: what do you hope to achieve in college and beyond?
For college, I would like to, I want to win and be that's not supposed to be a bad thing, but win and be competitive with everyone in our league and win the league and get to the national championships and playoffs and be able to. I want to and there's personal things, but I just want to be part of a it's exciting to be in a different culture and move on after, see what it's like to play college sports, and that's probably what I'm most excited to do.
What I hope to achieve at Susquehanna is to become a better softball player and also win, better teammate and person as a whole. And I aim to get my bachelor's degree in biology and use that to set me up for a successful career in STEM.
When I go to Penn College, I hope to make an impact on the lacrosse program, my teammates, and the people around me. And then after college, I plan to be a civil engineer and have a family.
I hope to become a conference champion in 100 backstroke and get a successful job in business.
I hope to make an impact on Ursinus' football team and be able to graduate from the school in 4 years and be able to play football all 4 years.
I hope to achieve a very successful college football career and eventually become a police officer.
I hope to continue playing football for as long as I can, so whether it means after college being done or playing professionally somewhere one day. Then after that, I plan to become a physical therapist.
I hope to play to my full potential and gain all the knowledge I can about volleyball. I hope to learn and grow in every area of the game and work hard when it gets really hard.
I hope to continue playing baseball at a high level throughout college and hopefully beyond the college level.
I hope to obviously get better and improve, but I also want to medal in the PSAC championships, indoor and or outdoor.
Public speaking is one of the hardest things to do and one of the scariest things on the list. These student athletes were just awesome. We owe them a huge round of applause. Once again, on behalf of Quakertown Community High School, we are proud of you. We congratulate you. We can't wait to see what the spring athletes still have left to accomplish, but in all, we wish you the best. And as Coach said, please come back after you graduate and let us know how you're doing. Another round of applause, please. We will now be doing